Hi, my name's Tim, and I'm living with ALS.
A little over a year ago, we went to the doctor's office and got the worst possible news. Tim was diagnosed with ALS that day. It was shocking. I was in shock. I just remember holding his hand and bursting out into tears, looking at the panic on the doctor's face. It was obvious he had never given a diagnosis like this before.
First thing he said when he opened up his mouth, he actually used the full name of it and said, this is all consistent with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And just paused for a second, I guess, waiting for a reaction, which was very stunned and whatnot. Initially was starting to feel like very guilty for what I was about to do to this, young, fresh out of college, bright-eyed girlfriend of mine. But I knew how fiercely loyal she was, so I basically just said, look, let's just make an agreement where I won't do the bullshit martyr, push you away thing, and you will make sure that you make time for yourself, and that this doesn't consume your life. As early as August or September of 2008, I was at least feeling stiffness in the leg that started going first. It gives me a little bit of encouragement that I'm still around at all, but that I still have at least, I'm still speaking, I still have somewhat, at least use of the left side of my body, a limited amount of use of my right arm, hand. ALS community itself is relatively small at around 30,000 people. The people that have my specific form of familial ALS, which is a mutation of the SOD1 gene, is probably about 1% or less of that number, so 300-ish is probably a good guess of how many people with my genetic condition.
It's really frustrating when you say my husband has ALS and then there's the blank deer in the headlights stare, and that's followed by me saying Lou Gehrig's disease, and then it's either continued blank stare or wasn't that a baseball player? It's heartbreaking because we have the ability to cure this. We have the ability to wipe this off the face of the earth, but we don't have the funding, we don't have the celebrity status that most other diseases do. Nobody should have to live this way and die this way. I've seen support come in the most amazing ways this year through awesome rock shows, art exhibits and auctions, an awesome dance party. Yaz's birthday, she spent that in honor of us with her own art auction. We've had the coolest events for such a shitty situation. And they have brought us closer with our community, with each other, closer to the level of awareness we're hoping to achieve. It's just been tremendous what's happened and what people have done and come out of the woodwork to do for us and for the cause.
I've taken a huge hit in my my basic functions. I can't shower myself anymore. I can't dress myself anymore. I can eat with a spoon in my left hand. I can type very slowly with my left hand, but even my left hand's starting to give. I can't go to the bathroom anymore by myself. I can't be left alone for more than 30, 40 minutes. I'm still lucky enough to have my voice, but I can see the symptoms or the signs that it's about to attack in my chin and in certain muscles in my face and my tongue. I can see the twitching happening, so I know what's coming. I'm fighting for myself, but I'm fighting for her as well. Because in a sense, we need each other. We had known really before the diagnosis that we would, you know, pretty much knew that we were going to be together forever, or that we would get married. Obviously, the diagnosis gave us more of a reason to go ahead and do it, in a sense. I proposed to her on our anniversary. Just some flowers in our dirty laundry and our dog and stuff, and asked her to gay marry me. You know, there are good days, and there are days when one or the other is really scared about what's coming up, because no matter how hard we fight, we both know how this is going to end. I can't imagine what it's like on her side, and she can't imagine what it's like on my side. But I think in a lot of ways it sucks more to be her, because it's something helpless that she'll have to live past. It's something that she can't correct. And it's that part of her that wants to save the world is going to be very hurt by this.
My breathing is very shallow. My limbs are really weak since I've come here. I've lost almost all remaining use of my right hand, and the left is going so quickly it's really taking me aback. Same thing with the left leg. It doesn't seem like long from now that I'm going to have no movement of my limbs. I don't have the strength to even put the camera on the table, or the lung strength to speak any louder than I currently am. I'm really scared at this point about what's happening next. And I'm really not looking forward to not being able to move, but I am in good hands, and I know that.
It was the first time I felt short of breath, and I woke up gasping for air, and it scared the shit out of me. I've got about 3 fingers on my left hand that aren't curled up, and even those are pretty shaky, and apparently are starting to curl. I can still kind of make a grip, but it's, you know, almost all signs of independence are gone. It was a bit of a dick move by the disease to make me think it was going to go all slow and shit. Ultimately, getting the trach was probably one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. And even now, you know, one little mess up and I could die. It's still terrifying to a certain degree. But I also think it's one of the best decisions I've ever made, because I'm not ready to go yet. I got a lot more to do.
You know, when push comes to shove and we need extra care, the Army comes in. They help with Tim's health and his care. They've learned all the new procedures and techniques of taking care of him, suctioning, vent care, everything, so that he and I can have a life together, and so that, you know, we have the coverage 24 hours when we need it. And they really bend over backwards for us so that we can enjoy life still.
It's Tuesday, the 14th of September, and I've been in the hospital now for the greater part of 2 months. I feel like I'm suffocating on a regular basis, and it's definitely made me think more about how I think my life should end. And in between the physical pain and the mental torture of not being able to move or scream or even freak out. It's becoming a little bit too much to handle. Even for little old inspirational me. And I feel weak, and I feel tired, and part of me feels like tossing in the towel. But I don't feel broken. I don't feel broken. And that's because of the often awesome part of me. And so I'm really hoping for a miracle turnaround of both my health and my mental health.
Let's see, the past year, I can't walk at all. I eat through a tube, I breathe through a tube. I speak and web surf through my eyes with a Toby computer. I cry at the drop of a hat, like a housewife reading a Nicholas Sparks novel. This past year sucked large, hairy donkey balls from a health perspective. I mean, look at the first episode. Look at how healthy I was. Look at me now. I look horrible. I mean, as horrible as someone as attractive as me can, but that's still the same brain in there. Do I think I'll make it another year? Fuck yes I do. I have got a lot to accomplish, and I'm not dying before it's all done. No way am I going anywhere.
This is real. This is happening to all of us. And we are going to do amazing things because of this. We're going to cure this disease. We're going to help the world. We're going to help so many people. And we're going to continue to do this together because we love the shit out of one another. If you just look back on this year, we've accomplished so much. We will win this. We will.
Well, I'll die trying, I'll never give up. Even when the odds are down, when no one gives a fuck. And even when pigs are flying, hell is frozen up. Well, I'll die trying, I'll never give up. And I know it's hard to love someone whose head is in the stars. But don't give up, hold on soon. Until I've kept my promise and I've given you the moon, I will die trying, I'll never